You are a good, well-earned CEO of Eclypses from multiple perspectives. But I love the partnership that we have between ApexaiQ and Eclypses. And the relations, the way that we got our technology implemented, right? First thing was, hey, is there a need? Absolutely, right? Yeah. Because I'm a IT guy, but security at heart. Right? Yeah. I'm a security first person. Apexa is a security first company, right? And my goal to my developers were, hey, sell it to me first. Yeah. I want to tell you whether it is secure or not. I've been in IT industry forever. And if you can sell through me, that means it's good, right? Then you sell it to people like you. Show to them that, hey, is Apexa secure? And we all know, right, with everything that's going on with SolarWinds and hacks and all the other hacks, that everybody's so sensitive about APIs, how the API credentials are used, how the API credentials or the API endpoints are kind of used from that perspective. And that was one of my concerns when we started Apexa, because we gather data by using API endpoints, end to end. Yeah, we have encryption, but not enough. So we wanted to make sure we have something that we can actually really, really use. That's where Eclypses comes into the picture, where they are literally protecting the data all the way from the customer end, all the way into our vault. It is protected all the way end to end. And anybody who can have access to the data in transit today, keep it for today, tomorrow, or a year after, they still can't open it. They still can't access the data. That's the beauty that brings in Eclypses partnership with ApexaiQ for us.
Absolutely. Well, the key there, as you know, is we replace the data with the idea that if someone steals it,
yep,
they're not going to be able to use it. And I remember our earliest conversations talking about security. And I said, Cash, we want to sit down, we want to talk about security. And you said, Bri, I am having security discussions every day. And man, we were early. Yeah. We were early in conversations as Apexa, as a company, as you said, in the basement. And you were already thinking about how you got to a next generation level of security, and not taking like a lot of the products out there that were just bolting on security. They were just saying, oh my goodness, security's now falling apart. I need to do something to answer that customer's request. You were talking about it from a perspective of someone who had already undertaken and already managed networks and knew, yep, I had to worry about security first and foremost, because what a lot of people don't think about when they think about a product like Apexa is their private information having to do with their entire infrastructure could be moving in an insecure way across their network. And that was something that you set as a mission for Apexa, to say, I'm not going to let that data flow. I'm not going to let those things happen. And I'm going to make sure this data is protected, not just from the second that it's in our database, but literally from the moment of inception. You were going to make sure it was completely protected. And it was quite a refreshing way of looking at the data.
It's been, as I said, security at heart first. And my point was, can you sell me? And then can you sell my 25 BOAs?
Sure.
You being one of them, right? Can you sell to those people? If they say yes, you're secure enough, we are secure enough.
I'd like to clarify that statement a little bit, though, because most people talk about, as a CEO, they talk about, can you sell to me? And that talks about a business request, or that talks about a customer request, or a financial gain from something. What I took from you and in our conversations was, you were saying, can you sell to me as a person with former experience running networks, running large security teams,
yes,
running all of that? Can you sell to me as if I'm your customer?
Yes.
And if they couldn't convince you and couldn't convince all of us on the BOA, they couldn't convince anyone. And that was really your take on it. So when I hear the term, could you sell to me, I think people should really understand exactly what you meant. It was not a financial sell. It was a sell to say, hey, you know what? We're really good at what we do, and you're going to have to pass the muster on what we're talking about.
I challenge my team on
Absolutely.
that every day.
Great way to put it.
I was never on this side of the table, right? I was always on the customer side, right? I was, I was a CTO, I was an SVP, I was a VP. I've lived the trenches. I've lived those lives.